everything that goes bump in the night should be ignored.
Welcome back, Murray. Glad it didn't scare you away. Now, where did we leave off the last time? Yeah. My first assignment with Eco Reclamation. It's a beautiful town, Regret region. I always called it Regret, North Dakota. Beautiful land, right outside of the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Absolutely beautiful place. We were working the DoorDash driver case. Yeah, I remember that very, very well. Well, we started by observing this individual and his delivery every night around 1 a.m. of a drink, a cold drink. I never saw the man. He'd sit there, and most nights it'd be dark as coal. Couldn't see much of anything other than the door cracking open, no lights on, and a long, spindly, skeletal-like hand. No skin is whiter than paper, like chalk white. Thick veins bulging out all along, with long, crooked, arthritic-looking hands with fingernails that just curved like claws. Kind of reminds you of like cat claws, like a giant cat, like tigers and stuff that can rip your flesh apart with one clean swipe. The door would open every night around 1:10, 1:15 a.m. and the arm would come out and slowly come out, grab the bag, and drag the bag back into the room. As quick as the bag went in the room, bam, the door was shut. So that went on like that for about 3 or 4 nights until finally the testing came back from the spilled drink outside confirming human blood. And then linking that with all the disappearances in the neighborhood, we could come to no further conclusion other than something just wasn't right with this man. A real mental case. So the next night I was off, and that's when things went down. They did a double raid, one on Bob's meat shop where the meat came from, the blood came from, and one on the man's house, apartment, a hotel room rather, where he'd been staying. And my job was to come in the next day and clean up. We came in and they put us in full hazmat suits with respirators. Told us, whatever you do, don't get any of that blood on you. Nothing can be left behind. They came in ripped the carpets out, took all the bedding out. Everything had to be removed from the room. I mean, the walls we had to spray down with another chemical that we couldn't let touch our skin or breathe through respirators because it would, according to them, I wasn't about to damn well test it. The chemical we sprayed on, it glowed and bubbled and hissed and smoked and gave off a real rancid smell, almost like that of hot antifreeze. An overheating car, that smell when you smell it. That real rancid, acidy type smelling. And got on our suits and bubbled on our suits, and we had to be real careful because if we didn't get it off real quick with baking soda or baking powder, it would actually eat through our suits. Now we would have to go out and be hospitalized and decontaminated and quarantined for 48 hours. So we scrubbed the walls, ripped out all the carpeting, we had to paint the floors, paint the carpet. And when we were finished, we started about noon and we finished about, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning the next day. So at that point, Sergeant Blue walks in with an envelope and says, everybody, we have to meet at the local Denny's for a debriefing. So from there, we went to Denny's. And he asked how everything went, if people had gotten in contact with the chemicals. Of course, nobody got in contact with the chemicals. We'd be in the hospital, we'd be pulled out of there quickly. Yeah, quicker than spit on a pig. So that's when Sergeant Blue pulls me aside and says, listen, man, you know the things that you read about in comic books that can't be true, there's no way, it's fiction? Well, in every good story there's a grain of truth. Art does imitate life. And so he proceeded to tell me that the man involved was not normal. Not what we'd say worldly. I mean, of this world, in this world, alive technically, but lived off of blood of other humans. Some people would call him a vampire. Now, this man couldn't bite people and turn them into vampires, but he was a sick puppy. He preferred to drink human blood and eat human flesh. And that's all he existed on. I asked Sergeant Blue, I said, well, what happened to that individual? He said he will never be heard from or seen again. He was taken to a underground maximum security prison in South Dakota, in the bottom of some mountain. I don't remember the name of it at this time. I honestly don't. And I asked him, I said, well, what about the butcher? He said the butcher punched his own ticket, couldn't face what he had been done. And in turn, what he was doing was not only providing this individual with his needs and wants, but he had a hamburger stand where during the day he would take what was left over from his private client, grind it up into hamburger patties, and fry them from his little food truck on the side of the road. Best tasting burgers in 7 or 8 counties, and that instantly kind of made me sick and ill. Because up until this point, not knowing what I know now, I unfortunately did take part of those burgers. I don't want to think about the taste. Don't even ask. Don't even ask about the taste. I don't know if it was good or bad. I don't even want to think. God, if you're watching and listening, I beg for forgiveness. Because that would make me a fucking cannibal. And that's something I can't live with. I know you want more details, Murray. I know you do. But to be honest with you, I really need to rest and take a break here. So maybe if you come back next week, we can dig a little deeper into this story, and maybe I'll tell you about my second assignment. And if you think this first assignment was something, you haven't seen or heard anything until you hear about what's coming. Bigger threats. More things that would blow your mind. Things that the average person couldn't comprehend, would make them go mad just trying to think about it. I'm lucky to keep it together as long as I have. Lucky I got the name of the old man. So come back when you get a chance and get your stomach together. and have another conversation with the old man.